Hey guys, it's Saturday here on Pagan Perspective. I'm your host Brendan, and this week we are talking about path directions for newbie witches. So, our question today comes from HMS Beardsley. I put the details in the section below. But essentially, they're talking about that they're a new pagan. They've got online, watched a lot of like our videos and a lot of other videos on YouTube. It's pretty much pulled in like multiple directions to where they want to go, and they feel a really strong connection with nature, and they also really want to honor their Celtic and Norse ancestors. They want to know if we've been through anything similar, and I guess that's pretty much just. I'm going to talk about my experience with this. So, if you look at any of my videos and where I am currently in my path, I started practicing would be 17 years ago now. So, it's been quite a while since I've had that initial what am I going to do overwhelm sort of thing. But the thing I have to say is that it's taken me 17 years to get to where I am. So I belong to the Wildwood tradition and the reclaiming tradition, and then there's like influences from a whole other bunch of other sort of paths and traditions that flow into my practices. And it wasn't until probably about, let's see, about 8 or 9 years into my practice that I actually found Wildwood and joined. And then reclaiming, I've been part of for 5 or 6 years now. So it wasn't until much later in my practice that I ended up finding the paths and the ways that were correct for me. My recommendations would definitely be to build a strong, solid foundation with the basic essence and workings of magic. So, really, a strong elemental foundation. So, working with earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. I would also say, really connecting to land and the spirits of land. So, genus loci, the local spirits. Working with like plant devas and animal spirits, and really kind of that natural environment that's around you. If that's something that's really important and draws you in, it may be as simple as growing plants. It might be seeing local native fauna and flora, so the plants and animals that are in your area. Just really, yeah, bushwalks, going out, hikes, local bodies of water, really just kind of keeping it very natural and connected there. As with the ancestor work, until I guess you kind of develop a really strong understanding of Celtic and Norse practices, I think the simplest way that you could work with your ancestors would be to build them a bit of an ancestor altar. So you may put photos of family members that have passed that you know, some that you may not know that might have passed before you were born. Really just build a collection of images there. Also, if you have particular like physical items that might have belonged to some of them, you can place them there as well. You can call upon them for guidance, so I would recommend maybe lighting some incense or some candles and just spend some time opening up and trancing to messages from them by sitting before that altar and just spending some time communing with them. You may also like to leave food offerings, and especially around Samhain, you have like either what's called like a red feast or a dumb supper. So you'll set plates at your dinner table for your beloved dead. And also with ancestor work, I would also recommend that it's not just ancestors that are blood related. It can be ancestors of the land, so previous landowners. Also, that includes like deforested areas. It can include extinct species of animals, insects, all that sort of thing that are past. And then there's also ancestors of the craft. So those that have paved the path for us to be able to practice the work we do now. And it can be as simple as like looking at the local herb law witches and healers and all that sort of stuff, to looking at people like Aleister Crowley and Scott Cunningham and people like that sort of thing. So hopefully I haven't given you way too much more information that's going to make it utterly confusing for you to be able to find a direction. But I would say really just if you're wanting to look for paths, maybe spend a year and a day like engaging and working with a particular path or tradition. Reach out to any paths that might interest you. Start a conversation and dialogue about that. Really, what are the things that are drawing you to that path? Is there anything that's preventing you from wanting to join that path? So, anything that you're like, oh, I couldn't do that sort of thing. It might be a sign that maybe that's not the path for you, or it might be a challenge that you need to overcome. So I would just say, yeah, really do your research, connect to those people who currently live, breathe, and practice the particular path you're attached to. If there's any certain practices that you're interested in, do a lot of research, perhaps start engaging and incorporating that practice into your own. And you don't need to be set into one tiny little path sort of thing. Like, you could always be eclectic and take from different ones, but I would say honor the sources that they come from. And if anyone, like, you teach practices to anyone, just really, like, let them know as well, because then it allows study and research to be done to the greater practices as well. And I think that is it for this video. I will see you next month because we have subs week next week. And yeah, for now, much love and blessings. Have a great weekend. Mwah.